Alright, I'm here for the Xenoverse interview. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Brandon Williams, producer at Bandai Namco Games.
When they're working on Xenoverse, you guys do you get to look at it and give your feedback and stuff like that? What do you do exactly?
So I'm a localization producer. So what that means is I oversee the process of taking the Japanese games and moving them into the American market. So that includes overseeing a lot of things like the translation, any localization issues, working with the voice actors at the recording studios, when the game gets submitted, lots of things like that. I do have some input on the game content. My job is to represent the U.S. audience, and basically like the whole American, like kind of Western audience, and give feedback to Japan on like what things they can do that fans will listen to.
Okay. Well, let's jump straight to the questions.
All right.
There's a few of them.
Okay.
One guy asked, is there going to be like a destruction in the game similar to I don't know if you're familiar with this Dragon Ball only arcade game called Zenkai, and it's kind of like Battle Z, kind of like Xenoverse, but more arcade style. Like, and I'm not sure how the destruction works in that game, but I assume that like the craters or whatever you make it stays there. Or I guess that's part of it too. Like, yeah, it's two questions. He's saying is the destruction similar to that game, and is there like beam clashes like in the previous Budokai games?
Okay. So I'm not too sure about Zenkai. I think I have seen that game, but I don't know much because it was a Japanese only game.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure how the destruction works in there. There is destruction in this game, so there are objects you're going to be able to destroy, like when you punch kick them or you shoot me food and things like that. So yeah, we do have some destruction in this game.
Okay. What about the beam struggles and stuff?
So for beam struggles, that spec we haven't really announced exactly how that's going to work yet, but in the future we'll be able to talk about that more.
All right. Is there anything else to this question? Oh, I guess because this is also coming to next gen. Is there going to be like little subtle changes, or is it just like graphically it's gonna look different? Like since there's more raw power on the PS4 and Xbox One, you think like as far as like again with the destruction, will the whatever like marks you leave on the stage, will they stay there, or will they just stay for like a few seconds and then disappear? It's a little technical.
Right. No. So the game is still in development, and the team is definitely doing what they can to make the game graphically as pleasing as they can, especially on the next gen versions. You guys have been paying a lot of attention to the game, so you've probably seen the difference between like the network test which we had on PS3 and then watching the game here we have it running on PS4. It's very obvious like graphical difference. It's very pretty. So aside from that, the dev team is trying to do as much as they can with kind of the unique features of the next gen system. So like sharing functions and things like that. We're trying to utilize those as much as possible. As again for the decals and stuff. Like the craters and things, that's kind of a technical question, something that's probably that spec may not be determined until closer to when the game is ready to come out.
Okay. Well, someone asked like if you guys are looking very heavily to the beta to the point where if we'll see a noticeable difference from the beta to like the final game, because usually when you see demos displayed, it's usually like this is pretty much how the final game is going to look like. They're wondering like if besides the bugs and glitches and stuff like that, there's going to be noticeable differences from the like as far as like combat and things like that, or maybe like the camera feels too floaty.
Okay, yeah, I mean we definitely listen to the feedback. We've been getting a lot of good feedback from the network test about how the game plays, and the dev team is definitely taking all of that into account. You're definitely going to see an improvement in the quality of the game, like the menu systems and the text and things like that. As far as the gameplay, there's a lot of balancing that's going on. The way that the key gauges work may or may not be different from the way that they worked in the beta. One of the things we're trying to do is figure out how certain moves are going to use which gauges and which is going to make the best kind of like balanced gameplay. So all the feedback that we get from the fans, definitely we definitely pay a lot of attention to that. So
right. So do you guys? Because I know after you play the beta, there's a survey that you can take and just fill it out and just say like if there's any problems or what you like. Do you guys also check like forums and other stuff like that besides the servers? Because I know servers are important, but like it's like sometimes in forums, like sometimes the people that don't fill out surveys, they'll just either complain on the forums or say good things on the forums. You guys check that too?
Yeah, we look at the forums. I think the survey It's more direct because it's more direct information, and it's easier for us to look at because it's more easily quantifiable for us. So it's easier for to look at, and so we definitely appreciate the people posting on the forum too. But when we do look at the forums too, but we try to get the feedback from wherever we can. So.
Okay. Let's see. A Budokai fan asked us like, I'm gonna be very, very honest though. Some of the Budokai fans like that grew up with Dimps, like supported Dimps from the very beginning. It's all been 2D Budokai and stuff, and once they saw Xenoverse, they were very excited. And then when they saw it was like more of a 3D thing, they kind of felt it was unfair. But they love how it looks though, and it looks amazing. And they think it's gonna be the best 3D fighter that's come out in a while because Dimps is making it. But they're asking like if there's gonna be, if we're not gonna have a Budokai game yet, if there's gonna be at least some Budokai elements that they can just dive into and be like, okay, like I can hold off for Budokai for a while.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's kind of funny because a lot of the Dragon Ball fans seem really split on like Budokai 3 and like that era kind of being 2D, and a lot of people love like the Ultimate not Ultimate Tenkaichi, but Budokai Tenkaichi. Yeah. That was more like 3D, like free roaming, you could fly around and stuff. And Dimps is a great developer. We're all super excited that they're working on this title again. You're definitely going to see some Dimps elements in there. They're a great developer in terms of like making fighting games. So even though this is a 3D kind of all-range game, they're definitely putting a lot of elements to give it that kind of more competitive fighting feel. So there's things like just guarding, there's move canceling, there's custom combos, things like that. So I think like Dimps is they're going to leave their mark on this game. But I think even if you like or prefer the 2D fighter, if you play Xenoverse, you're going to have a lot of fun.
Will created Super Saiyans go past Super Saiyan 1?
Ooh, that's not determined yet, so I can't talk about that.
Okay, yeah. I figured, but you know, like there's some questions that they ask, like, why don't you ask this?
Yeah, you can ask the questions. There's some I can answer, some I can't answer.
Right. This one, I guess this one's a weird question, but they said if you can fly like because in Burst Limit, like if you knock someone really up high in the air, like there was like this gimmick where like you knock them up high and they're like you're like all the way in space or something, or like really, really high in the clouds. So I guess they're asking like if you can go a little higher than with the beta, like I guess close to like the final game, so like there's any plans to like going like higher, like high battles and stuff like that.
Right. Well, we have there's not. I mean, I haven't played that game that much, so I'm not exactly sure how high you're talking about. But we do have a lot of different stages in the game, and some of them have more verticality than others. So you're definitely going to be able to fight in some pretty big spaces. Yeah.
Well, I guess to explain, it's like in Burst Limit, you do this heavy attack.
It's like a stage transition.
It's like a stage transition. So like it'll do a cutscene where you fly all the way up.
Okay.
And then like you're in like a different area. Like I think one area like you can go to space and all this all this sky and stuff like that.
Well, there's not stage transitions, but a lot of you've probably seen from the beta or from the network test that a lot of quests take place on multiple stages. You can transfer between stages for the quests. So you can go to different stages on certain quests in the game and certain missions.
Well, like in story mode, like free. How free is the free roam? Is it like a little besides the hub? I know there's a hub space in the beta. I mean, like because I know I've seen scans and stuff. There's like levels where you can talk to other Dragon Ball characters and stuff. How big are those? How big are those worlds? Is it almost as big
as
hub space? Yeah. Is it just almost like more or less as big as the beta hub space? Or?
Yeah. So the beta hub space we kind of revealed. There were like 2 sections of that. So there's another section that we haven't kind of shown off yet, but that kind of gives you an idea of what the kind of public hub space is going to be. And then from there, you're going to be able to, team up with your friends and go on missions or challenge each other to battles. Yeah, and those will take place in like the regular kind of fighting games.
You guys have a customization mode for you can create your own character just like in Ultimate Tenkaichi. You guys experimented with that a little bit, and that was one of the, if anything, that was probably one of the only great things about that, the customization.
Right.
That's what it would be forever remembered by, the great customization. I guess Dimps is going to try to go deeper with that.
Yeah.
People are asking, there going to be a lot more hairstyles and stuff like that than we're seeing now currently, like that will be offered in the beta and demos.
Yeah, for the custom stuff, there's definitely a lot of custom stuff that's was not in the demo test, not the beta. So full game, yeah, we definitely want to save some surprises and stuff for the full game. There's going to be a lot of customization options. Some of the stuff you'll earn, and some of the stuff you'll find. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to customize your character.
Okay. Will there be well, like for example, like for Goku, Vegeta, will there be like and other characters too? Will there be like a huge like variety of like movesets and stuff? Like, or from what we see so far, that's pretty much Goku's or Vegeta's or Piccolo's whatever basic moveset. Like what we see is what we get for those characters.
No, there's definitely a lot of moves that weren't in the network test, and that includes moves for both the custom characters and for the classic Dragon Ball characters existing. You're going to be able to see those guys with a lot more moves than you saw them in the beta, and also with like a lot more costumes too.
Great. Someone asked how much replay value can they expect from the story mode? Because the online is important and the multiplayer is important, but like since it's Dragon Ball Z, like everyone's like intrigued about the story. They're asking like if it's a thing where like you play it once and you're like, okay, you got most out of it already. There's gonna be side missions or anything to like keep yourself busy?
Yeah, so when you're playing the game, you've got like your kind of main quests. You've got your main missions, which are kind of like the story mode. This is the story of you and your custom character and Trunks and your mission to go throughout the Dragon Ball timeline and kind of restore everything to its original flow.
Yeah.
And then you've got more like side quests, and these are the ones that you can do with your friends. You can do them online. Some of those missions and stuff are ones that you're going to find by talking to random NPCs in the hub. Some you'll unlock as you just kind of play through them. So there's a lot of missions there, and we're looking into how we can expand the game and continue to support the game post-launch. I don't want to say anything specific because a lot of that stuff is not determined yet, but hopefully we'll be able to add stuff to the game after launch.
Okay. This one's been answered already. Someone asked about open world free roam, but I think we answered that already. Something about like how big it's going to be, but I guess you guys can't really talk about that because not much has been revealed yet.
Yeah.
So it's a silly question, but is the PS3 version going to be similar to the PS4, Xbox One version? I assume the difference is we talked about this. The difference is going to be like graphically like 1080p.
Right.
Are the frames going to be the same? Like for example, the 360 and PS3 are going to be 720p 60 frames, and the PS4, Xbox One's going to be 1080p 60 frames.
Well, I want to give you the exact spec on the frame rate or the resolution because the game is still in development, but we definitely are working hard to make it look as pretty as it can on all the platforms and give everyone a great experience.
Don't know if you guys can answer this either, but I want to ask it anyway.
Go for it.
Like, if there's in story mode, if there's like boss battles, and if there are boss battles, because people assume there's boss battles because during one of the extended trailers, there was like a couple cutscenes. You see Boo, we see Super Saiyan 3 Goku and stuff like that. You see a couple cutscenes here and there. They're asking if there's going to be like QTE cutscenes or like boss battles in the story mode.
So QTE cutscenes, we don't really have any of those plans. One of the things that Dimps was saying early on, we talked about this in E3, was to keep the player engaged as much as possible during battle. So they wanted to move away from having super moves where you just kind of execute and then watch a movie of the super move being played out. They want to keep you as involved as possible. So there's no QTE cutscenes. As for the boss battles, that's something you guys are gonna have to look forward to.
Someone asked, why did Dimps choose to handle the transformations the way they did? I think I don't know if it's a rumor or something, but we seen in the demo that like Goku and Vegeta, they can go to Super Saiyan forms like on the spot. I think there's a rumor going around that other characters, like maybe like Cell or Frieza or something like that, they won't be able to transform like the way they do in game. Because I know Cell needs the androids to transform and stuff like that. So they're scared of like, because in Battle of Z, like every thing that's supposed to be a transformation was a separate character.
Right.
And like that.
Right.
Like they want everything. Like if Dimps is gonna put everything in game, they might as well put the transformations too, I guess.
Right.
Do you know anything about other transformations? Will they be in game, or do you have to choose something later?
Can't really talk about that yet. Yeah, I can't really talk about that.
Oh, that's good. It's cool. Yeah. So, release date, still no release date yet, early 2015?
Yeah,
Okay, well, that's it. ShonenGameZ signing out. Thanks for the interview.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.